Uh, we love Yellowfin. We actually get and understand what you do as a company and why you're different. Being in the big data space, there are a lot of things that you need to consider: number of users, concurrency, speed, performance. They're all things that Yellowfin are really big on. And I guess one of the things I love most about Yellowfin is your ability to be able to scale is a very similar message to ours. And your message that how important to have a fast database is a message that is very reflects very well with us. But yeah, we really like what you guys do. I think you're a very innovative company that fighting for that leadership position. Of big data to date is massive data capture. It is now possible through tools such as Hadoop. And however, while we're able to collect all this data now, and we can collect as much as we need, it's cheap and it's scalable, the ability to be able to analyse that data has become the pain point, and it's really the ability to extract value out of that stored data, which is what will get a big data project up and running. Really the next generation of big data technologies are all about providing the drag and drop GUI interfaces that make big data and big data analytics very doable. So just drop and dragging to be able to connect to your different data sources, using drag and drop operators to transform that data, to cleanse that data, dedupe that data, or add additional meaning to that data, and then using drag and drop operators to be able to perform those types of data mining and advanced analytic algorithms. So one example in retail is being able to do market basket of good analysis, or this is also known as affinity analysis. And what this looks at is the relationship between, if someone buys product X, are they likely to buy product Y? And to be able to do this type of analysis is a very complex query. You have to look at the relationship between each product with every other single product that's out there. And we have a lot of large retailers, and they have thousands, or in some cases tens of thousands of different products that they have to run these relationships on. So an example of this type of analysis would be if somebody buys cereal, they might be likely to buy milk, but if they buy milk, they might not necessarily be likely to buy cereal. So what this analysis allows them to do is organise, give them the intelligence they need to work out where they place things on the store, where they do their promotions, how much stock that they'll order. And traditionally these reports are very lengthy and long to do. And one of our examples is Office Max, which is a very large retailer in the USA. So actually they're global. They have 2,200 stores throughout the world, and they're moving online because they understand that is the key playing ground moving forward. And with their previous system, which was a big Oracle implementation, it was taking them 85 hours to do that query. And they had to do all these steps, from connecting to the data to preparing and loading to doing builds and testing. And the actual query itself took somewhere along the lines of 42 hours just to run the query. We put that in the Actian analytic platform, and we were able to connect to the data, load the data in about 45 seconds, and run that query in 30 seconds. And this changes how they do their business. Instead of re-optimizing this every few days, 3 or 4 days, they can now actually do this query in less than a minute. And it means that they can always get up-to-date information on the best ways to market their product. Now, in addition to that, their actual system was 10 terabytes in size. So because of the way, what you find is most of that data is actually workarounds. So it's indexes and cubes and material views and aggregations that they've built in to be able to get that little performance that they were getting before. So without losing any of the actual core data, we reduced that down from 10 terabytes to just 800 gigabytes. So it's incredible savings there. And As a result, they also had 10 shadow data marts that went around this. So that was just for one query. They do other types of queries, such as I think shrink wrap processing, and that looks at all of the breakage and what happens and what gets written off and all those types of things. That was taking in the multiple days to do that analysis as well. So they had all these 10 different shadow marts, and they were able to close 6 of those shadow marts down. And in addition, it took 6 full-time employees to manage their previous system, and they were able to get down the actual database maintenance to just half a full-time employee, down from 6. So in terms of just the hardware, software and people savings, that's $3 million a year in savings. But the real benefit is what they're now able to do with the platform to be able to get the answers they want in a fast manner. Actian's approach to the big data space is unique because of how we treat data. A lot of companies think of data as in a data lake or a data bucket, which you need to be able to fill before you get your analysis. Whereas we look at the entire analytic pipeline in terms of where the data is born all the way to where it gets analysed. And when you do that, you realise that data actually flows. It flows through the organisation. You do want to also put it in the lake, but you need to actually capture it and run with it as it's actually flowing to get maximum benefit. I guess it's a little bit like an oil refinery. So you might have your crude oil, and that crude oil is very valuable to some people, but it does get refined down to that rocket fuel, which has different value to other people. So what our platform allows you to do is add value throughout those analytic pipelines and to be able to analyse the data at any point, whether it be directly on Hadoop or in the fast relational systems. The other thing that I think really differentiates ourselves from our competitors is a lot of our big data competitors will try to get all of your data and want to put it in their system, so have that complete enterprise data warehouse system. But when you're dealing with Hadoop data, that is simply too much data for that system, and when you try to put it in there, the system will break. Alternatively, a lot of the new Hadoop vendors that are coming up are trying to convince you to take your enterprise data warehouse that you've built up along all that time, this highly structured data that you've invested heavily into build, and put that into Hadoop, which is not fully ready for that yet. So what's great about us is we treat them all just as data stores, and we're able to connect to any of them, load the data or transform the data at massive speed, and analyse that data at high speed as well. So we're able to blend different data sources much faster than anything that's out there. And then finally, we've looked at the complete process. You need to be able to connect to the data, you need to be able to prepare, transform, add meaning and analyse that data. And it doesn't matter how fast your database is, if you can't get the data in there fast enough, you're going to have issues. So we look at the entire pipeline. We have not only scalability built into every part of it, we believe that we have the fastest tools for each part of it as well. So we think technologically we have a superior advantage to anyone that's out there. But one of the things that I love about Yellowfin the most, and I have built a lot of our demonstration environments with a number of your different competitors, but we do fast databases. And in order to show a fast database, you need to be able to show how long the query took. And what I love about Yellowfin is that you've got a little information tab which tells me how fast that query took, where I'm not going to mention your competitors. None of them have that. So I have to rely on a stopwatch if I want to demonstrate on them.